All right, let's jump right into this. We are going to deconstruct Barack Obama's really powerful speech to students. We'll look at how he weaves together personal struggle with this huge sense of national purpose. Honestly, it's a masterclass in motivation.
Right off the bat, he starts with this, something so personal, so raw. This isn't some stuffy political speech. It's real. It's grounded in a reality that a lot of people can connect with. That one line just grabs you, and right away it creates this feeling of a shared experience.
And that leads us to the first big theme of the speech, this idea of building on a foundation of struggle. Obama doesn't sell this fairy tale that success is easy or that it just happens. No, he argues that the journey, more often than not, starts with hardship. And that's a powerful way to connect with pretty much anyone. And what's so effective is how he uses a specific story to drive this home. He talks about his mom waking him up at 4:30 in the morning just for extra lessons because they couldn't afford the better schools. I mean, you can just picture it, right? It's such a clear image of sacrifice and the kind of grit it takes to overcome tough situations. And he doesn't just stop with his own life story. He brings in Michelle Obama, the First Lady, pointing out that her parents never went to college and that money was a real issue. This is so smart because it shows that this isn't just his unique story. It's a classic American story of working your tail off to get ahead. And then, bam, he turns directly to the students listening. By listing out these very specific, very real challenges, he's basically saying, I see you. I get what you might be dealing with. And this isn't just about showing empathy. It's a really clever way of taking away the excuse that your circumstances are what define your future. So let's look at how he builds on this. After he's established that, hey, hardship is a pretty common starting point for a lot of us, he then explains why it's so incredibly important to push through it, especially when it comes to school. This is where he starts connecting your personal effort to something much, much bigger. So here's the key idea. He completely reframes what schoolwork is. It's not just about getting a good grade or, checking a box. That English paper? That's not just a paper. It could be the very thing that helps you discover you're an amazing writer. That science project? It might be the first step towards creating the next big thing. It's all about finding out what you're capable of, your hidden potential. And the logic he lays out is just so clean. It's a really clear step-by-step path. The skills you're learning right now in a classroom, they lead directly to the jobs you can get tomorrow. And those jobs, they put you in a position to solve the biggest problems our country is facing. It's this incredible chain of cause and effect. And this just makes that connection even more real. It's not some abstract idea. Science and math, that's how we cure diseases. History and social studies, that's how we learn to fight poverty and discrimination. He's drawing a straight line from a subject you're taking right now to a huge real-world outcome for the whole country. And then he lands this. What a powerful line. This is really the payoff for this whole section. Suddenly, the stakes are way higher. It's not just about your personal success anymore. It's about a national responsibility. All of a sudden, staying in school, doing the work, it becomes an act of patriotism. Okay, so if the stakes are that high, how do you actually do it? How do you get there? Well, the third part of the speech shifts gears. It moves from the why to the how, and it gets into the nitty-gritty practical mindset you need to succeed. And he kicks it off by just tackling this huge myth about success head on. This comparison is perfect. On one side, you've got the myth we all see on TV or social media that success is easy. It's about being famous and it happens in a flash. But then he gives us the reality. It's hard. It takes serious commitment. And most importantly, it's built on a pile of failures. And to prove his point, he uses these little mini stories. First up, J.K. Rowling. I mean, think about that. The person who created one of the biggest book series of all time got rejected a dozen times. That's not just a fun fact. It's proof that getting told no and still pushing forward is just part of the game. And then he brings in the GOAT, right? Michael Jordan. He didn't just fail a few times. He says his constant failures are the very reason he succeeded. And using Jordan's own words, that just hits differently. The message is crystal clear. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's a key ingredient. So this is the big takeaway. He completely redefines what failure even is. It's not a brand on you for life. It's not the end of the road. It's just data. It's a lesson. It's information that tells you what to tweak for your next shot. And that little shift in how you think about it, that changes everything. This just builds on that whole idea by totally busting the myth of natural talent. Whether you're talking about sports or music or, yeah, even a tricky math problem, the speech makes it clear that skill isn't something you're born with. It's something you build through the grind of hard work and just relentless practice.
And this right here might be one of the most important bits of practical advice in the whole speech. He just flips the script on asking for help. It's not admitting you failed, it's showing you're strong enough to admit you don't know something. And that's the first step to actually learning it. He basically frames it as a power move. And that brings us to the end, the big soaring conclusion of the speech. After he's laid all this groundwork, the personal struggle, the practical advice, he zooms all the way out and places the student's own journey into the massive story of American history. Okay, this timeline is just brilliant. He connects the students listening at that moment directly to this incredible legacy of people who changed the world. He's saying the folks who founded a nation, who won World War II, who created the internet, they were all just students once, sitting in a classroom just like you. And then that last line, today, you. Chills. It puts you right in line with them. And when you boil it all down, the message is that it all starts with one. One person, one idea, one decision to just not give up. It makes the whole idea of making a difference feel like something anyone, every single person can actually do. And this is the challenge he leaves them with. After showing them their potential place in history, he puts the ball right in their court with this direct, thought-provoking question. It's not just a question to make you think. It's an assignment. It forces you to ask yourself, what am I here to do? And he closes with this powerful charge. It's an appeal on so many levels. To your responsibility, to your family, to your country, and, he says, most of all, to yourself. It's not just him asking you to do something. It's him showing he has faith in you. And it leaves you with this profound sense of purpose and inspiration, just a perfect way to wrap it all up.